and who will have one to forget? Cao Yupeng needs 4 more frames to become Scottish Open champion. Neil Robertson with it all to do. He needs 6 more. I think this one could go the distance. Let's join our boys in the box. Joe Johnson, and first up, Philip Studd.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Frame 9, Neil Robertson to break.
Well, I think it's probably fair to say that not many expected Cao Yupeng to have a half-time lead in this final, but he certainly merits it. He outplayed Robertson this afternoon, and he could have had an even bigger lead. What an important frame. The 8th one was. Robertson, of course, won it, even though Cao Yupeng was in first. But he has impressed with his temperament. As we look at Robertson, Cao Yupeng, he's thoroughly embraced the business end of this tournament. Remember, he was a big underdog against Judd Trump in the semi-finals. Came through that. And so far, Joe Johnson, so good.
Yes, it is. And he's playing relaxed snooker, isn't he? He's enjoying himself out there, whereas Robertson has got something to prove. He's expected to win. And that makes things very difficult. Especially when you're playing somebody who's playing as well as that. Digging down into the cue ball and slamming that red into the corner. Unfortunately, that's where he played the cue ball to. But what a great pot. And, you know, Neil Robertson will be thinking, you know, I'm supposed to beat this guy and he's knocking the long ones in. That should be me doing that. I think he's about to take this brown on. He's winning the pot success. Well, that's a very confident pot. A very confident pot. It could have rolled up behind the green for the snooker, but chose to take the brown on. And again, that puts fear into your opponents when you start knocking those 2 balls in that Zhao's just knocked in.
Well, look, what he'd have left if he'd missed it.
6.
Yep, played for the Reds though, didn't he, off the brown? Yeah, so those opening 2 shots, Philip, just gave his intentions to Neil Robertson that he's not going to roll over. He's going to go for his shots.
He's heavily outscored Robertson so far, knocked in 7 breaks in excess of 50 in the first session. Robertson has been unable to replicate sensational form he showed against John Higgins in the semis so far, but a lot of that is down to this guy who hasn't really let him play that well.
Yeah, 7 breaks over, 6 breaks over 60,
21,
150, and the rest have been big breaks, you know, 80, 70 odd, 72,
22
frame winning breaks. Well, this is the shot that Ronnie O'Sullivan plays a lot, leaving himself short on the red so he can 29. Bring more reds into play. And he can play it with screw or topspin. Playing it with screw. And played it very well indeed, bringing more reds into play. There was no panic about that shot. He knew exactly where the cue ball was going. And come round the 2 cushions nicely for the red into the middle, where he can play the blue or black. And even the pink may go.
38.
The renaissance this season for Cao has been
43.
incredible. He could barely buy a victory last season. Fell off the tour last year, got back on via Q School.
44.
He said he'd worked a lot on his safety game in the close season. That was something he felt that was lacking. And that he was all about potting before. He's a more rounded player now, a more complete player.
And funnily enough, that's the one stat that he's behind on. Safety. The red next to the pink goes to the right corner.
51.
And these 3 loose reds would be enough.
$52. $58. Thank you. 59.
Well, he's left it rather straight, this black, but the red will go to the left middle, I think. So just a little screw back, couple of foot. And needs a colour off this red. And he's going to be safe. This was a little tricky,
66.
just went in off the angle.
$67.
So Robertson can only tie. Just this blue needed. To leave Robertson needing 2 snookers.
Well, this is mighty impressive from Cao Yupeng. What a
72.
start to the evening. The opening red was outstanding. The brown to follow even more so. Had he missed that brown to left centre, he'd have been leaving this break for Robertson.
Cao Yupeng, 72.
So 2 snookers required for the Aussie to avoid falling 3 frames adrift.
Well, it didn't look as though he could get that red. But that's a good pot. So 4 reds, 4 blacks. Keep that
8.
red on the right side cushion on the table. Maybe a chance of a free ball while the red's on.
9. $16. $17.
Can afford to take a pink. He'd still need 2 snookers. So it doesn't have to come back for the black.
$25. $31.
Got
Neil
too
Robertson,
deep into the
31.
cue ball. I think he can see the red. And you can see enough of it to pot it. So that's going to be 6-3. 3 frames up. Needs another 3 more frames.
Task getting
7.
that bit harder for Robertson.
Well, funnily enough, Robertson made a good break-off.
Yes, and
It's
some of his
cost him.
break-offs today have not been that great. But it was a wonderful break from Cao Yupeng of 72. What a start to the evening for him to show Robertson that he means business. He extends his lead to 6-3. Well, there's the prize at the end of the evening, the Stephen Hendry Trophy.
Frame 10. Cao Yupeng to break.
And Cao Yupeng looks every inch a champion at the moment. Not just that he's leading Neil Robertson and leading him now by 6 frames to 3, but his demeanour, his calm, his zen-like focus out there. He just looks like a man who is determined to make a bit of history here and become a ranking event winner for the first time.
Yes, it's his shot selection now. That shows us that he really is calm, although that wasn't a good break-off. Cue ball not close to the cushion because he caught the reds too thin. And he's left a half chance here. These have to start going in for Robertson. Good shot.
1.
Good pot. Got the cue ball out of the danger zone. And he's nicely on the baulk colour. A little slow. Played for the 2 reds into the right corner, but it may be one below the pink.
5.
Got to be fair to him, he could have played for that red.
6.
Well, that's Neil's partner and his son, who was busy sucking on lollipops earlier. Not quite a snooker aficionado as yet. But Neil Robertson has been telling us in the last few days that he believes he's taken his game to a whole new level in the last month or so, certainly on the practice table. He needs some of that tonight now.
Well, I think he's brought it to the match table as well. He's played superbly, not just in this tournament, but in other ones as well. He's just been up against people that have played even better.
Well, he didn't miss a ball, did he, really, in the first half of his match against Higgins last evening. It was nigh on faultless snooker. Higgins said as much afterwards, even though he did threaten a comeback. The best man won. He's not been quite that razor sharp today, but once again, a lot of the credit for that has to go to his opponent. And I wonder if Robertson honestly believed that Cao Yupeng would play as well as he has in his first ranking final.
Yeah, played that well, giving himself a chance of 3 reds there.
Nineteen. $26. $27.
And he'll want to hit straight back, Neil Robertson. Chance to go into the reds with the insurance of these 2 reds. And that was a good time to go into them. It's brought another couple of reds out.
35.
Wasn't a good break off by Cao Yupeng.
43.
Caught the reds just a little thin, and the cue ball came away from the cushion and left the red to the right corner, of which Neil Robertson duly knocked in. And looks like it's going to be very costly for Cao Yupeng, that break off. He's got to try and stay focused though. He's got to expect his opponent to play well. This is a final.
And one of the reasons that Robertson is returning to his very best form is the return of his long game, which has always been a major asset. He's managed to pot 10 out of 11 from long range today. Outstanding.
And that's 5-3 down.
$59.
So another red and a colour, and he'll return the favour. Just one more red and a colour needed.
66.
And this is a great response
67.
from a great player.
Well, one major advantage Robertson has, of course, is his vast experience of big occasions like these. He's chasing his 13th ranking title. He's a Triple Crown winner. He knows what it takes to win from the front, to win from behind. He's done it before.
Yes, did it before when he won the World Championship. I think he was 11-5 down to who was
Martin Gould.
Martin Gould.
Checked
yes.
out of his hotel, expecting he was out of the tournament. That was the second round. Ended up winning, of course, and went on to claim the world title.
72.
Yeah, he could have gone into the cluster there, but made sure of the blue and one more red. It doesn't matter about going into the cluster because one more red makes absolutely certain.
73. You switch that off, please.
As I said, Cao Yupeng made a bad break-off, and this is the break-off. Look, he got very close to the blue there. That's because he hit the reds too thin and left the red on.
2 frames, 1 from the break.
Great snooker.
78.
He's already made 10 centuries this week, Neil Robertson. Marco Fu made 11 in winning the title 12 months ago.
And look at that for a positional shot that he just played a moment ago. The red was a super shot, but the positional shot was incredible. That's when he had to land to be on that red. And he's still going. Cao Yupeng shouldn't be watching this.
82.
It can be very intimidating seeing a player of Neil Robertson's stature stomping round the table, potting the balls.
Well, it's the perfect response, isn't it, to Cao Yupeng's opening salvo.
90.
He's sending a message, yeah, well played, but I'm not fazed by that. I know what it takes to win big.
91.
I'm not going anywhere.
Played for the red into the baulk corner, or the middle.
98.
Still scarcely believable that Neil Robertson managed to make a century of centuries in a single season, 103 to be precise. This would be his 40th of the current campaign. Not bad for a guy who's been out of form.
Well played. And as Philip said, what a response.
105.
His son joining in with the applause.
107.
Well, these two players are serving up a real treat for this packed crowd here in Glasgow. There was a feeling that it could be a runaway today with
110.
Robertson's form against Higgins. Cao playing in his first ever ranking final. Perhaps he'd be something of a rabbit in the headlights. Anything but. They're both producing some wonderful
140.
stuff now. And what an evening we have in store.
119. 125. 132.
A quite brilliant riposte from the former world champion Neil Robertson to the break of 72 from Cao Yupeng. Anything you can do, says the Aussie left-hander, I can do even better. A 1-3-2 clearance to close to 6-4. The first century of the final,
Thank
and what a
you.
break it was from Neil Robertson. A very timely
Neil
one as well.
Robertson
A
to
1-3-2 clearance. Century number 11. There's the Stephen Hendry Trophy, who will be holding it aloft later on this evening. This match is right up for grabs. Robertson on the comeback trail, but Cao Yupeng looking cucumber cool. Still 2 frames clear. Still needing 3 more for the title.
Fantastic long red. That won him the frame. Well, it was a tough shot. And he's been sat out of the game for the last 10, 15 minutes. Oh, it was close. And because it got close, it stayed close to the pocket. But again, it's a tough shot, this, for the length of the table. Caught the last one that he just attempted a little thin. Well, shouts of come on, Neil. But 2 reds on, both of them difficult. It's a long way off that one. And if you could make him pay again this time round, it would make Cao Yupeng start thinking about where he is. He's got to stay focused.
Yes, and I don't think Cao Yupeng will be remotely surprised to see an onslaught from Robertson. In fact, when I spoke to him last night, he said both Robertson and Higgins are the kind of players capable of reeling off frames. Oh, but wait a minute, that's a surprise.
New Robertson, 6.
It certainly was a surprise, Philip. And you only have to have something creep into your mind, and you can miss a shot. Could have been thinking, I've got to make him punish. I've got to punish him here, and maybe try too hard on the red. But it gives Cao just a chance to walk round the table, just settle down again. There's nothing easy, Cao Yupeng. The red to the green pocket with the rest, or this thin cut to the middle. Both difficult. Played the double.
That fooled the cameraman, I think.
Well, it's a good sign, this, playing the double, because he was leaving reds on. Had that red not gone in, and perfectly placed for the red to the middle pocket.
6. Seven.
Yeah, that's one thing he mustn't do. He mustn't miss when he's in. It's okay if he runs out of position, but he mustn't
14.
miss.
$15.
Well, he played this shot earlier, and as I said before, this is a shot that Ronnie O'Sullivan's
22.
invented. It was always there, but he plays it so well, and this young man did so in the first frame. And
23.
again, very controlled.
It's scarcely believable when you watch Cao Yupeng queuing at the moment that he was so bereft of success last season. Remember, he won barely £6,000 in prize money. If he wins tonight, he'll have won almost 10 times that amount. In fact, in excess of 10 times that amount in 1 week.
$29.
Well, he had to power that pink into the middle pocket to be able to play the cannon to the red, which leaves him on this red. And that was an excellent shot.
30.
Well, he's got another red that he could play for, but it's a good angle, this, to go into the pack of reds. And if he could catch the pink thin on the right-hand side, or even miss it, he'd send that red towards the right corner and reds towards the left corner. See how he attacks the pack of reds here. That's just how I suggested he played it, and it's worked out absolutely brilliant.
35.
He's covered the black, which is unfortunate, but he's on an easy red, and the black goes to the other corner.
Very festive.
Look at the camera. Give us a smile.
No thanks. I'll smile when I'm ready.
That's the angle he's got on the red. Now he could screw across the table for the black. He could run round the two cushions with left-hand side on the cue ball for the blue. He has got the angle to play that shot, but I fancy playing for the black here. Just screw past the black. Played up for the blue,
46.
and that's a nice little flick. That's a lovely little flick on the red. Leaves him the right side of the blue with various reds to play for. Look at this little flick. Right side of the blue. It'd have been okay anyway, but that's even better.
Every one of these pots hurting Neil Robertson. He missed a relatively routine red to let Cao back in. Just when he was getting on a roll with that superb century
41.
clearance. We didn't expect that one. I'm sure he didn't either.
We didn't expect the double either. That came after it, but he got it. And this is just where experience comes in a bit, because Cao Yupeng played for the reds into the right corner, but the black doesn't go. Should have played for these two reds into the
42.
left corner. And the black does go from there. A little too far. Had he been straighter on this blue, he could have played for that red closest to the left side cushion. Gets very close to the cue ball. And this looks good. This looks good. If he Straight on this red.
47.
Pink goes to the left middle. Yeah, that's okay. Or you could play up for the blue again.
$48.
And if he just drops the pink in for the red to the left, that leaves him with the red, with the black afterwards. Well, his heart was in his mouth there. He thought he'd missed that.
That was very reminiscent of a ball that Robertson missed this afternoon
54.
into the same pocket. It looked to be a little high, but it dropped.
It was just the right speed to drop in.
$55.
He's underhit it. Could have played for the black there. Chose to play for the pink. He's going to pot this, come off the cushion for the two reds into the same pocket. Well, he could hold for the reds into the left corner.
This is Chow's 9th break in excess of 50 in this final.
$61.
Well, again, he could always play up for the blue here just to make sure he's got the red in baulk if it doesn't get the right side of it.
$62. Yeah.
Leo Scullion. Only 59 left, 56 the difference.
Yeah, just make sure of the blue. And that's what he did. He made sure of the blue. So
67.
one snooker needed. Yep, that takes him to frame number 7. 2 required.
And even more significantly, this is a frame that's been won as a result of an error from Neil Robertson. An error punished with a clinical frame-winning break. These are the ones that really hurt.
73.
And started it with a very attacking shot when he played the double. He could have played the
74.
safety. But this is good snooker from anybody's point of view. And this is the double that he got. And put all his eggs in one basket there because he was leaving reds on to the right corner.
Cao Yupeng, 81.
That doesn't matter. It's another big break. It's another frame-winning break from Cao Yupeng to punish Neil Robertson's surprise error on the red. And now the Chinese, tantalizingly close to his first ranking title. Just 2 frames away. He leads by 7 frames to 4.
Okay. Thank you. Frame 12. Cao Yupeng to break.
Cao Yupeng is playing some wonderful snooker in his first ever ranking final, and he's giving Neil Robertson all the trouble he can handle here. Robertson throwing a big punch of his own with that clearance of 132, but then missing a red when he was in first in the 11th frame, and Cao Yupeng punishing that mistake with a break of 81. Now he's just 2 away from the title.
And this time, he doesn't leave an easy red for Neil Robertson. And if he could get to 8, 5 frames to try and win it. So mega frame this, Cao Yupeng.
Is that how you felt, Joe, in your world final with Davis when you were on the cusp and he was a long way down?
Well, actually, didn't think of it at all. And it never entered my head that I'd let me have one more and then I only need one, if you like. It just played snooker and just tried to play as well as I could and didn't let the winning line enter my head. And maybe that's what Cao Yupeng's doing. It's just us that's saying, you know, if he could win another frame, he's within 1.
Well, that's the secret, isn't it? To stay in the moment, to not get ahead of yourself. And it's not easy to do that, but he's certainly giving every impression that he's just focusing on the here and now, on the next ball, the next pot. And he's doing it at the moment incredibly well.
Yeah, down to Robertson, though, that last frame for me. If he'd have stayed on the roll there and punished Cao Yupeng and pulled another one back, that would have been a biggie. Well, that didn't go according to plan. Now, has he left an easy one? There's nothing easy left unless the red cuts to the middle. And even that one's not easy. But it's a chance. Well, he missed it thick again. He missed the other one thick. In the last frame, he missed it thick, if you remember. Hit the left side cushion. And that's what he did again there.
And that's the kind of error he simply wasn't making against John Higgins. Of course, he was always in front of Higgins. Now he's 3 behind and running out of wiggle room.
Yeah, the pressure's mounting on both. Will it affect Cao Yupeng? That's a good opener.
One.
Can't see if the red will pass the black into the left middle. But if it doesn't, may be able to play for the red into the right middle. Well, another confident shot, this. Especially when you've got such an easy blue. He's undecided, and this is not a good sign. Yep, nicely played, but he's lost the cue ball. Played for the red into the right middle.
8.
I don't think that goes to the corner. So if he wants to keep the break going, it's either the long red or the thin cut to the middle.
9.
And this could be good on the green. Needs to slow down. No, he's just come a little too far to have the angle, the natural angle, to come back down for the reds. A little too straight on the green and not enough angle on the brown without stunning it in. There's the angle on the green. Not enough there. Oh, what a great shot. What a great shot. Powering the brown into the middle to come down for the reds. Another super shot.
13.
Something similar to the first frame of this evening. He took on that risky brown to the middle, and he's just took on another one there. Well, the red goes. I think he's looking at the cannon. But he could easily play for the pink. Or the blue.
14.
Played for the pink.
This is a seismic frame, isn't it? Cao Yupeng wins it. He's 4 up with 5 to play, and that is an awfully big ask for Robertson, however well he plays for the rest of the evening.
He's overscrewed that one. Left himself hampered on the red. Pink doesn't spot, so it goes on the green spot.
20.
Now, can he drop this red in and finish on the black?
$21.
Yeah, nicely played. And he's got the angle on the black to play for the reds into the left corner, or play the cannon to the red just above the black. Just looking to see if it goes, that red. If it does, no need to play the cannon.
$28. $29.
Well, he's not panicking in any way, shape or form at the moment. He's just going at his own pace.
He looks like a ranking veteran.
Hard to believe he only won 2 matches last year. Got knocked off the tour and came back onto it. He is playing like a top 16 player, without a doubt. In the 7 frames that he's won, he's had breaks not just over 50, 60, 70, and now an 2 80s. 9 breaks over 50 in 7 frames. That's intimidating snooker by anybody's book.
And the other thing is that he's not been fazed by
47.
setbacks. Remember, against Judd Trump, he lost that marathon frame, missing a relatively easy black off its spot which could have thrown him completely, but he just came back as though nothing had happened. And today he lost the second frame, which he should have won, missing another black off its spot. But rather than be thrown by that and see it as a major setback, he then took a 3-1 interval lead.
Yeah, maybe that fist pump, you know, spurred him on a little bit.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the fist pump. Neil shot him a glance as well, as if to say,
45.
I've arrived, and, well, didn't quite work out that way, as we know. He trailed 5-3, and now he's in danger of trailing 8-4.
Well, these 3 loose reds will do it.
52.
Yeah, no need to have played the cannon to the reds, which is what he was considering. Leave a nice angle on the black here to get back to that red.
53.
That goes to the same pocket as the black. Well, this time it hasn't quite come far enough.
60.
Might just give them a little nudge. Try and go up towards the blue. And that's okay if you can screw between the brown and pink. Come down the right side of the table. He's got to miss the green, which he should do.
$75 on the table as things stand.
Got a little bit too much screw on the cue ball. It's not going to finish behind the blue, is it?
66.
Yeah, got a bit too much on avoiding the green. So this game not over yet. Very nearly caught the pink, which would have probably done him a favour if he'd have caught it thin.
Yep, one more red, and the best Robertson could do is force a respot without snookers.
And that's not a good safety.
Cao Yupeng, 66.
Just a little bit of tension there. And he's left a chance. And one good shot could change this whole match, because he should have won the frame there.
But what pressure on Neil Robertson now. 3 frames adrift, 2 away from defeat, 66 behind. When the going gets tough. This is a real test of his newfound confidence and form.
Doesn't have to play it. He can play the safety. He's got 2 reds, one to the left corner, one to the right corner. Or he's got the safety, and I think he's playing the safety come pot. He'd be on the green if it goes in. I think that's a good red for him to take if he can avoid the right corner pocket. Not close. And I think he's left one to the middle. Anxious looks from Neil Robertson. And he's been playing very good middle pocket shots, Cao Yupeng. And there's another one.
One.
He plays those middle pocket shots so well. That was a real pressure shot, that, because had he missed it, he was leaving reds on. And he'll be feeling $1 million right now because he's going to the break. Just needing one frame when he comes back out again.
Yeah, he'd probably like to stay out there, wouldn't he? All the momentum is with him. It's been a quite brilliant performance for a guy appearing in his first ever ranking final. It really has. His temperament has been extraordinary.
Who would have thought that it would have been 8-4 up at the final interval against Neil Robertson? I certainly wouldn't have done. You've got to take your hat off to him.
No, I don't think anyone saw this coming. I suspect Cao didn't see it coming either, although he certainly backed himself to be able to win this match, but to have a lead this handsome
15.
Going into the final session. Well, the stuff that dreams are made of. And now the only question is, has he got what it takes to finish the job? The hardest frame and all that? Well, we'll find out
22.
after the interval, but he has thoroughly outplayed Neil Robertson today in both
22.
sessions. And there's no question he deserves that lead. Robertson hasn't done a lot wrong. Yes, he missed a red after making that brilliant 1-3-2 clearance when he seemed to be on his way back. But how he's been punished for his errors today.
Yes, Neil was on a roll there, wasn't he, when he missed that easy red. Had a similar red in the last frame.
31.
But he's being put under it. There's no doubt about it.
We've already seen the 10th break in excess of 50 from Cao Yupeng in this final. His consistency has been outstanding.
36. $37. $42. Cao Yupeng.
What a
42
performance.
and a frame.
What a scoreline. Who would have believed this? Neil Robertson on the cusp of defeat against a man who has never appeared in a ranking final before now. And Cao Yupeng within a frame of his first title. 8-4 he leads.
Indeed, the players are back in the arena now, and soon, at some stage, we'll find out who the new champion this is. Let's rejoin our commentators for this one. It's Joe Johnson and Philip Studd.
Well,
Thank
Cao
you, ladies and
Yupeng has
gentlemen.
done
Frame 13.
superbly
Neil
well
Robertson to break.
to engineer a situation where he is just a frame away from a maiden ranking title. The only question is, can he now deliver the killing thrust, or will some doubts set in? Will the nerves begin to affect him? There's been precious little sign of that so far, and that's another very ordinary break-off from Neil Robertson. We've seen a few of those today.
Well, it's a chance, isn't it? It's as simple as that. He offers him a chance straight in. And it's not down to Robertson now, how well he plays. It's down to Cao Yupeng. If he knocks this red in, who knows? Clean. Clean and perfectly onto the blue. What a shot.
One.
Now. It could come down for that red just above the black.
Started this session with a great long red off Robertson's break-off. Made 72 to win the frame. How he would love to repeat the trick now.
Could have done with coming just a little bit further down the table. He's put himself under pressure where he's played it to. Yep, it's a sign.
Cao Yupeng, 6.
He avoided the shot first time round from the blue. He should have got nearer to the red, and he left himself with a bit too much to do. And what Neil Robertson needs to do now is punish.
1.
Easy to say, but if anybody could get on a roll, it's this guy. He can be very intimidating. He knocked that 1-3-2 break in the second frame this evening, and he could have gone on from strength to strength there, but missed a relatively easy red to the left corner. Can't afford to do that anymore. Point of no return.
Seven.
Well, he risked it. Could have played the other red, which would have guaranteed him to be on the black. I'm not sure about that shot he played there. That's a great shot. Easter missed the green. That's unfortunate. Don't think he can see the red closest to the left corner either.
9.
Felt like a do or die shot. It's a great pot.
Yeah, unfortunate really that he can't see this red. Had he missed the green, it'd have been okay. Well, the way that he's playing this, it's all or nothing. Good pot, using the pack of reds to take the cue ball back down the table. Well, looks like he can play tight in behind the green if he nominates the brown first. But he's looking at the pot.
Yellow ball.
Neil Robertson has already accumulated 12 ranking titles, which is right up there with the very best in the modern era. But if he were to win tonight, it would rank alongside the very best achievements
13.
of his career.
Well, he's decided to have a go. And if they start going in, he really could put Cao Yupeng under pressure. Finished up a little straight on the brown. He could do with playing for the red closest to the pocket. That frees the black into that pocket.
Seventeen.
I guess he's in a similar sort of mindset to that World Championship match we referenced earlier against Martin Gould when he returned to the arena 11-5 down, thought he was out and just went for it, loosened up the arm
18.
and produced a spectacular comeback. That's the kind of mentality he needs to have now.
Well, certainly those last few shots. And can stand behind the black to take it into the same pocket.
24.
So now he's done the hard work. And boy, was it hard work.
$31. $32. $39. $40.
Well, looking at the red just to the left of the pink, a right-handed player would certainly play for that shot, but he may need the rest to take that red on. But that's the red to play for, because he may be able to nudge one of the other ones out, but he could have come too far there.
45.
Playing the plant.
46.
And now every chance. It was a long way off from that easy red he missed. Just saw the winning line for a second, I think. Matches can turn round on shots like that. Nicely on this red.
50.
This has been a harem, scare and break, hasn't it? But it's been wildly entertaining. Can he convert it into a frame-winning one?
$51.
So 51 points the difference.
57.
Just one more red needed.
$58.
And a good frame from Neil Robertson. Needs to make sure of this blue. That's two snookers. Nice little shot there with all that
63.
left-hand side on the cue ball.
And it won't hurt to keep Cao in his
64.
chair for as long as possible here. Keep him stewing about that one elusive frame required for the title.
71.
He was in first.
And he'll be thinking about that, Red.
72.
This is the moment.
79.
Wasn't difficult, but didn't commit to the shot before
80.
when it was on the blue. Could have come down closer to that red. Doesn't want to believe in himself. Pressure shots now. Well, not going to be another
85.
century, barring flukes.
Neil Robertson, 85.
It's go for broke time for Neil Robertson. He is in a whole heap of trouble, and he potted his way out of it in that frame at least, but he's still got much to do to turn this into a spectacular comeback. He trails 8-5.
Thank you. Frame 14. Cao Yupeng to break.
So has Neil Robertson planted the first seed of doubt in the mind of Cao Yupeng, who was in first in that frame? Mr. Red, the kind of red he hasn't missed very often in this final, and Robertson, living on the edge, made an excellent break of 81 to keep his hopes alive. 8-5.
Well, it was all do or die snooker in the last frame for Neil Robertson. All out attack. And he's still doing it. Well, that's what he needs when he does miss. He needs to get away with it. He wasn't far away from this. Well, if he plays the loose red, he could send a red over the left corner. He could play off the pack, open the reds up, and hope he gets a chance, but he's playing the loose red. Well, fortunate or unfortunate, which one? It would have been unfortunate for the cue ball to go in. Well, he's on a red, but the blue, pink and black out of commission. So he's going to have to show some cue power here to get back down the table. Yeah, good shot.
One.
In fact, got hold of it too well. On the brown or yellow.
may have a somewhat mechanical action, Cao Yupeng, but he can certainly generate some backspin. We've seen it a lot of times today. On occasion, he's overcooked a shot because he's hit it too well.
Yes, the signs are coming. Fortunately for Cao Yupeng, the balls are awkward. Self-doubt. If he starts to have that, it can be horrendous.
One.
Well, he's got a good angle on the yellow to go into the reds. Don't think the yellow's in, sorry, on the green to go into the reds. I don't think the yellow is in the way. And he could bring the black and pink into play. Doesn't have to play it, could play for one of the loose reds. And I think that's what he's doing. There's a red above the black, that may go. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball.
5. Six.
I think he can just about get the black. Wriggled in, but dropped.
13. Yeah, thanks. 14.
Could have done with just being a little bit closer to the black.
$21. 22.
Would have liked an angle on the black there to have gone into the reds with the insurance
29.
of the red is about to play. Gravity's a wonderful thing.
The crowd weren't sure. Cao Yupeng had his fingers crossed, but it disappeared.
Yes, and deliberately left the cue ball short, low
37.
on this red, so he can bring more reds into play.
38.
Well, didn't have any reverse side on the cue ball to take it up towards baulk colours, so may have to play this difficult black. That's a good recovery shot from Neil Robertson. And needs to slow down, though. Too much adrenaline in the shot.
45.
On another day, the cue ball could have kissed the brown. It'd have been nicely on the red to the middle. Well, it just depends where those two reds are pointing to. Well, he'd have to hit them very thin to get that plant. If he hits them thick, he'll miss them. Yeah, well played. Needs a good kiss. Didn't get it.
46.
Well, as you can see, the green doesn't go. The yellow does, but very difficult pot. But so is the safety.
Robertson has a different demeanour about him now. It's almost as though he's resigned himself to the likelihood of defeat. But he's loosened up, he's going for everything. If it's there to be potted, he's going to take it on. And that makes him dangerous.
Played the red down the table, and that was a clever shot to play. Didn't attempt the pot.
And a handy lead of 45.
Oh, what a clever shot that was from Neil Robertson. Moving the red down the table. Well, is he going to be tempted? Wasn't far away, but where's it going to finish? He's left one to the left corner. Now, if this goes in with the red surrounding the black, that wasn't far away at all. Yes, he's starting to miss. He had no need to hit it that hard. He really needed to stop the cue ball where the red was.
He's smiling, but he's feeling anxious.
Yep. I agree with you, Phil. He's smiling because he is anxious.
And of course, Neil Robertson will pick up on these signs. He'll be aware that perhaps the momentum is shifting a little.
One.
Yeah, and the reason it's shifting is because Neil Robertson's going for his shots and he's getting them. Oh, getting most of them.
Once came from 14-7 behind against Sean Murphy in a World Championship semi-final to draw level at 14 all before Murphy eventually got over the line. But he's
too high.
overcut it.
It's too high.
Neil Robertson.
So
one.
a chance. Cao Yupeng. It's not an easy table with the yellow tied up and the red on the side cushion. And he gets a chance just to settle. I think he can get this red to the right middle. Could have been easier, of course. Well, that's a good shot.
One.
That's a good shot. And played it in such a way that he wasn't trying to leave anything for Neil Robertson had he missed it. Just in no man's land. Too hard for the two reds. Not hard enough for that loose red. Good recovery. Oh, and very nearly nudged the yellow free. He's on the brown. Good shot. Doesn't want it to be dead on the cushion. That's okay.
13.
33 points behind.
Cao Yupeng. 13.
He's starting to feel it, no question about that.
And he's a bit lucky because he's left nothing easy here.
Settle down, please.
Not a good sign. He's been a picture of calm in the last two rounds of this tournament. In the pressure moments, but so close now to something really special, he's beginning to feel it. And that's entirely understandable.
Yes, he's even got the ding pose now. And that's it. Fist on chin. Well, he could play the red that's near the balk line and play the cannon to the yellow. Push the red towards the other red. That frees the yellow, which he needs. Sometimes it's hard to think out there. Well, that's freed the yellow and the pink, but he's left a red to the right middle. Yeah, that's a good shot from Neil Robertson. Could be a frame winner.
All of those have to be going in now for Robertson, but he's potting them. A red and a high value colour would be enough to leave
7.
Cao requiring snookers.
8.
So it's looking like back-to-back frames for Robertson. He's just crunching the numbers. This is frame ball. The crowd willing him on. They want a final frame decider, Joe.
14.
Yeah, they might well get one if Cao keeps missing. I mean, he missed an easy red into that
15.
black corner pocket. I don't think that was pressure in any sense. Just lapse of concentration. That wasn't a pressure shot. It was too easy. But he can't afford to lose his concentration. That's what's stood him in good stead all day.
Well, he's coming back to the table. At least he thought about coming back to the table, then realised he had just too much to do. So Neil Robertson has certainly not given up the fight here. He's a proven winner. He's a champion. And he's now only 2 behind at 8-6. Welcome back to Glasgow. What a finale we have in store here. Cao Yupeng has played some outstanding snooker to build an 8-4 lead over Neil Robertson. Robertson has decided to go for it, and so far it's paying off. He's won back-to-back frames and is now just 2 behind. He needs 3. Okay. Cao needs that elusive 1.
Thank you.
That's the trophy.
15.
The great Stephen Hendry.
Neil Robertson to break.
Hendry had a reputation, didn't he, for overturning big deficits. But he's still got a lot to do, Robertson, and that's what Cao has got to tell himself. He's got to say, I'm still in front, I'm still playing well, I've still got to keep believing.
Yeah, I think he's got to play some good safety as well and make Robertson go for them difficult pots. But at the same time, if he does get a chance, this is worth taking on, for example. Can only leave the red he's playing on. Good effort. And he has left the red he's been playing on.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, of course, is watching with us in the studio. Ronnie, just a few signs, perhaps for the first time in this final, in the last couple of frames, that Chao's beginning to feel it.
Yeah, I noticed it when he was, I think it was 8-4. He potted a red, got onto the blue, and he underhit the blue, and then missed the following red. And I said straight away, I said that's a couple of tight shots there on the trot. So and it's turned out to be that way. You know, ever since then he hasn't really looked like doing anything, and we've all been in this situation where you kind of get mind freeze, and I just think he's definitely feeling the nerves now. So, you know, this is going to be the hardest battle of his career now.
And equally, Robertson seems to have freed up a bit, Ronnie. He's going for his shots now, isn't he? He's taking on 1 or 2 risky ones, but you get the sense he's beginning to fancy it now. Yeah,
I think you just get to the point, you know, it's the final session of the final. You're behind, you know, you got nothing to lose. You're just going to kind of like just attack the balls now. And, you know, from Robertson's perspective, you know, if Cao keeps playing like this, he doesn't have to take too many risks. He just has to make 40s and 50s and keep it tight, because Cao doesn't look like he can put 2 or 3 balls together at the moment.
Do you think the mindset could change again, though, if Robertson gets really close, say he wins this one? Will he then start to feel the pressure again because he's turning the match around? I
think if he gets to 8-7, then he'll still feel a bit relaxed. But you know, if he looks like getting to 8-all, then he might feel a little bit of nerves. And then obviously if it goes to 8-all, then the pressure's all back on Robertson, because obviously he would have won 4 frames on the bounce. Cao will probably free up a little bit, because by then he'll think, oh, you know, the nightmares, he's brought the nightmare to reality, really, and then he'll just obviously think, you know, I've just got to try and do what I can, you know?
Yeah, we've both been in this position many times, haven't we, Ronnie? When you see somebody coming at you, it's like a train.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Yeah, when you've experienced it, I mean, I went through this when I played John Egan's in my first world final, and I've never felt like that before in my life. But once you go through it once, you never allow yourself to go through it again, sort of thing, you know. So this, like I said, this is the biggest battle of Chao's career so far, and it'll be something, whether he wins or loses, he'll come out of it all the better for it. But obviously, for his sake, you know, it'd be a hard one to swallow if he was to lose it from 8-4 ahead, you know.
Thanks very much, Ronnie. We'll get the Rockets' views as this final continues to unfold. We don't know how much longer we've got to go. Is it going to be 1 frame? Could it be 3?
Yeah, great to hear the views of 5 times world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan. And spot on. He's bang under it at the moment, Cao Yupeng. And to make matters worse for him, Robertson knows it.
Yes, and he's got no experience of this situation to draw on, has he? That's the other thing. Remember, he's playing in his first ever ranking final. This tournament was only his second semi-final, first having come earlier this season. So this is brand new territory for him. First to put himself in a position to win, but then to know how to win. Robertson, of course, has proved many times that he does know how to win.
Yeah, like this shot, for example. He was knocking this shot in, but now this shot, the pockets will look really small. And I can see this one going wrong. Oh, well played. I'm glad he proved me wrong. But the kiss could have been kinder. Tough blue. Favourite to the middle. Well, he's playing the yellow. Yeah, just slowing it down a little. Don't blame him.
Cao Yupeng, 1.
Knocking that
The miss.
last red in, Cao
Cao
Yupeng.
Yupeng, 4.
Well, it made him feel a lot better.
Yeah, the other thing he's got to tell himself is, well, if someone had offered him an 8-6 lead before a ball was struck this afternoon, he'd have ripped their arm off, wouldn't he? So look on the positive side of things. Glass half full.
Yeah, so hard to do, though.
Yeah, Neil?
And you know that you've had chances and
Yupeng.
you're just praying for another chance. And when it comes, you fluff that one as well. So it's so difficult, this game.
That's the mental battle you face.
Double kisses on here. Managed to miss it. And that's a pretty good safety from where he was. Cao Yupeng can see the 2 reds closest to this right corner pocket. But he's got to be careful here. He could push one of the reds over the left corner. That's what he's coming down to look at. If I cut this red, will it hit the other red? Send it over that pocket. Well, personally, I'd play it very thin so that the cue ball comes back towards the green pocket, the jaws of the green pocket. And that way, if it does push the red over, Robertson won't be able to see it. Played it too thick. And he's left the red on. Possible shot to nothing for Neil Robertson. Hit it too thick. And that's a let-off, and look where the red's going to finish. Not good. Now, is it cuttable? I think it is. Just got to avoid the in-off in the middle.
1.
So he gets a chance, Cao Yupeng.
Six.
The yellow could be just in the way of standing up for the blue. So may have to play it with topspin and right-hand side to get the right side of the blue. Just depends what kind of an angle he's got. May even be able to play for the black. Yeah, caught the reds. Well, he keeps altering himself. Down on the shot. And it's never a good sign when you're doing that down on the shot. You've got to, you've got to get back up again and get the line of the shot again. There's no good trying to line it up while you're down on the shot.
Yes, he's suffering at the moment. There's no question about it. He's lost that poise and composure that he's had in beating Judd Trump yesterday and for the lion's share of this final.
1.
Yes, and Neil Robertson's getting away with when he misses now. He was being punished earlier. Now he's not getting punished and he's playing a lot more freely.
Hasn't won a ranking title since Riga at the beginning of last season. Robertson, of course, he did win the Invitational Hong Kong Masters, but it's been a while. His last ranking success, he's very keen to put that right. Already back in the top 16 as a result of making the final. Of course, not in time for the Masters in the new year, but he is back amongst the elite now for sure, whatever happens for the remainder of this evening.
Well, it's a tough pink, but he may go for it because there's safe reds. So he just might go for the pink. Looking at the safety.
Light ball. Neil Robertson, 7.
Yeah, good safety shot, Cao Yupeng. Yeah, I think this is what Cao Yupeng needs. He needs to play a few good safety shots and settle down again. Because, as Philip said, he's lost his coolness. Now then, how's it going to finish? Well, he could have left something easier. He's left a long red to the left corner.
He's been very fortunate there not to leave something more straightforward. This is not the kind of shot that you want when you're beginning to feel that maybe the chance of a first ranking title is slipping away.
Yes, fully agree. This is a tough one. Could have been easier, but it is a chance. Ah, that's a super shot. That's a great shot. And nicely on the green to get to the easy red, which leads him to the black. Well, certainly doesn't deserve to lose this championship by collapsing.
4.
So this is another chance for Cao. It's an awkward table.
Five.
We can't see how close he is to the reds because of the referee. But he's right there. The referee's looking. Well, not hard enough for the red by the pink.
12. Thirteen.
Wrong side of the blue. That wasn't a good shot. And too much side on the cue ball. He was playing for the red into the right corner.
18.
Well, at least he's back in the frame.
Yeah, but still feeling that tightness. He's the wrong side of the table there with his position. Well, I have no idea what he's playing here. If he's playing the pot to the right corner, I can't recommend this. He's playing the pot, and he's left the red on.
Cao Yupeng, 18.
Couldn't recommend that shot.
I guess that's the temptation when you're under pressure. You're desperate to get over the line. You're trying to make something happen. The danger of pushing the boat out too far. Chance for Robertson.
Yeah, nicely played.
1.
But he's not going to be on a colour. So just the snooker. Could have played a good safety shot there, Cao Yupeng. And now he's in trouble because of it.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Very close, but I think he's got away with it. very close, but has that red gone too far? Or can he pot it? Well, I think he went for it. And he's fortunate to have got that kiss, because without the kiss, it would have been an easy red, this. And look where the cue ball is now. Tight under the cushion. I'm not saying he wouldn't have potted it, but look at that.
Horrible.
Absolutely straight. Well, he's just got to try and roll it in. He's happy.
Actually, a scrappy frame like this is probably to Cao's liking right now. At least it gives him a chance to try and settle those nerves, to feel part of this frame. Robertson was still banging in the big breaks and knocking in the long reds. It would be very intimidating for him, but at least he's involved in this frame.
Yeah, and he's in charge of the safety right now, because he can get this cue ball in behind the black. He could take the double on and still play him behind the black. He's got shots he could take on. He should have had the cue ball tight to the cushion. He's not playing the same snooker at all. That cue ball should have been tight to the cushion behind the black. And then Robertson couldn't have done that. And he's unfortunate not to be on it.
Neil Robertson won.
Well, he's got the snooker, but it's not too difficult. It's what happens to the red.
Has to hit it, but more importantly, get it safe. How would you play this one, Joe?
Well, the thing is, what he's looking at is coming off the cushion and hitting the second red and trying to hit it thin, but then he's got to miss the brown if he plays that shot. I'd be inclined to hit the inside of the red and leave the cue ball in the jaws of the yellow pocket. the way that he's going to play it, there's always a chance that he might pot it. But as we said, he's got to hit it and get it safe. Otherwise, the balls are there. And that hasn't worked out. He's brought the safe red off the cushion.
Well, what a chance now for Robertson to close to within one. He thought long and hard about that. That is not the scenario he had in mind.
1.
Not ideally on the blue. Yeah, nicely played. Play the cannon to the pink to hold the cue ball.
6.
And difficult to see him losing from here.
Seven.
Just got to make sure it's the right side of the yellow to get to the green. Because the blue could be in the way if he doesn't come back far enough. Yellow, green and brown needed.
Still can't afford any slip-ups here, Robertson. He's still on a knife edge. One false move and it could be over.
Well, he's left himself a tricky little shot here. Because he could be cannoning into the blue.
15.
Played it well. Played it well, just dropped it in dead weight.
$18.
So it's going to be 8-7.
$27.
Well, Cao was snookered at his last shot.
33.
And he couldn't have hit them any worse.
The balance of this final has changed quite dramatically. Neil Robertson is still behind, but I wonder now if the Aussie is actually the favourite for the title. He's won 3 on the bounce from a seemingly hopeless 8-4 to 8-7. Welcome back to Glasgow. Well, a penny for that man's thoughts right now. 8-4 up, playing superbly, outplaying Neil Robertson, but the wheels are rather coming off at the moment, and that's the attempted safety he played out of the snooker. And in the event, it couldn't have gone worse, releasing both reds, all the colours out in the open. And Neil Robertson calmly cleared the table to win his 3rd straight frame. So from a very comfortable 8-4 to a much less pleasant 8-7, does Cao still believe he can get over the line?
Thank you, frame
Sure,
16.
Neil Robertson now believes he can win,
Cao Yupeng
and
to
maybe
break.
even should win from here. The penultimate frame.
Thank you.
Needs a good break off. And I'm not sure if he's got one. This red could be on to the right corner. That was a chance on. That was a good kiss. He would have been on an easy red there, Cao Yupeng, and he knows it. That's the thing. He's probably thinking to himself now, if that ball hadn't have kissed, I'd have been on an easy red with the black to follow. And what I'm left with is this tough red to the middle.
And isn't it so often the case in this great game that when you begin to struggle, your luck turns in a negative way? Earlier on in this final, Robertson would have left an easy red for Cao and he'd have made a big break from it.
Well, he could take that red, the one I suggested, to the middle. He could take it to the corner and stun the cue ball back down to the black cushion. He'd be on the black and he wouldn't leave anything. And that's what he's done, and that's what he's got. What a terrific pot. That's the best pot he's played so far. And now it's down to him. What he wouldn't give for one of those 770 breaks he's made.
Wowee. That flirted with disaster. Well, it's all the case now for Cao of trying to recapture the zen-like calm that he's had for the lion's share of this final. Get back in the zone.
Well, this is it, isn't it? If he can keep the cue ball that far away from the object ball, then he's got a great chance. Because these are unmissable when you're concentrating.
And this is where you want to be, isn't it? Under this kind of pressure with a glittering prize on
16.
offer close to the object ball.
Well, he started with a fantastic pot. But he wants to build a good lead here. A good lead.
$17.
Nice angle on the black to stun for that red above the black.
All of these shots look simple, but there is enormous pressure on Chao's shoulders right now. He knows
24.
the significance of this visit to the table.
And because this cue action hardly moves, when you're under pressure, it makes it even more difficult to pot.
25.
Well, he's already had a maximum this week. And he's on 4 reds, 4 blacks now.
32.
He won't be thinking maximum at this stage. Be thinking more like 70, please.
The title went to Asia last year, of course. Marco Fu coming from 4-1 behind to defeat John Higgins in the final.
$33.
The red to the right of the pink doesn't go to the left middle, but it will go to the right corner, and that would release another red to the right middle. Or he could. Yep, that looks the shot. Deep screw to the side cushion. Oh, he's missed a simple black off the spot. And he was up
Cao Yupeng.
very
Up
quickly.
50.
And that was all the side he put on the cue ball.
Thank you. One.
Well, it's a lead, but it's not anything like the lead that Cao Yupeng would have had in mind.
Now he's got to sit and wait now and hope. I'm not sure if he's got the angle on the black to bust the reds open 2 or 3 inches softer than he certainly would have had. He's tried it. He's tried it. But he hasn't been successful when the black's respotted.
8.
Oh, well, can he get to the red? I think he can. Yes, he can, so that's not too bad.
Nine.
A little too straight on the black, but he's got the red to the right middle. Trying to hold the spot. Well, the pink doesn't spot, so he's on this red to the left corner. And then maybe he can play up for the blue next shot and go into the reds.
Thank you. 15. $16.
Robertson has previous when it comes to winning a ranking final from behind. 2007 Welsh Open. He was 2 down with 3 to play against Andrew Higginson, the man that was on the wrong end of Chao's maximum in the first round, but not for the first time today. He misses a simple
16.
blue.
I know, but look at the cue ball, Philip. He hasn't left anything. Well, fully expected him to have opened the reds up nicely there. And that's what he thought of it.
Well, we talk about the pressure on Cao and the fact that he seems to be wilting now under that pressure. But of course, Robertson's feeling it too. He knows now he's got a great chance to win this final. 3 frames ago, that looked highly unlikely. Well, that's different.
Well, I've never seen that before.
Don't think the crowd have either.
That's the first.
That's broken the tension a bit. That could have gone wrong.
Horribly wrong. Could have been a little bit too hard, and he's left a red to the left corner.
Unorthodox, but ultimately effective.
Well, Robertson's thinking of playing the cue ball down the table and using the blue to hide that red closest to the right corner. But it's risky. He could play the cue ball to the jaws of this pocket where his hand is. Problem with that is he leaves an easy safety shot. Cao Yupeng. Dead on the cushion behind the green. would cover that red. No, I don't think he's got far enough. He's left the red on. He didn't hit the red thick enough. So this is another chance for Cao Yupeng. And again, it's a tough, long red, just off straight. But it's a chance. Now, does he play it slow for the black or down for one of the baulk colours and come back down for the reds? Choice is his.
Doesn't want a double kiss, that's for sure.
Good pot. Now, does the blue pot to the middle? It looks like it on TV. Well, if it goes for the blue, the natural angle for the cue ball is to go into the reds. You could play it with a lot of side and come round for that loose red just above and to the left of the black. But make sure of the pot. No, sir. That's another chance, gone begging. And he may not survive this one. I think he realizes now what real pressure is.
So Robertson back in. Ronnie O'Sullivan watching alongside us, of course. Ronnie, this is getting decidedly edgy now, but Cao has had some chances, hasn't he?
Yeah, he had a great chance in this frame here. He potted a fantastic red, but I think the only reason why he potted the red was because he wasn't leaving anything on. And although he made 32, you could see he was just trying to take what was there instead of trying to get into the pack and win the frame in one visit. And I'm not sure Neil's picked up on it, but, I mean, from where I'm sitting, he looks like he's starting to get the yips as well. And even on that blue, he didn't really commit to it. So he's feeling the pressure massively at the moment.
Yeah, I just said that now he knows what true pressure is like, Ronnie, because, you know, there's nothing like winning a tournament and trying to get over the line.
9.
Yeah, I mean, but he's looked so calm and relaxed from the semi-finals onwards, and, you know, come out tonight, play 4 unbelievable frames, and you just thought, you know, just one chance in the next 4 or 5 frames and he'll make a frame-winning break. But you know what it's like, Joe, when the pressure's on and the arm gets a bit tight, and every ball looks like a long ball.
Yeah, we know that, yeah. It all started with that blue that you mentioned, and I thought the same thing. He didn't commit to the blue to get to the red.
Yeah, but it was the red as well after, so it was
That's
like
right.
2 shots on the bounce that he's kind of hasn't really committed to, and then you start to think, well, yeah, maybe he's starting to feel the pressure, and that's what it seems to be.
And the other thing, Ronnie, is that he's got no experience, has he, of a crunch situation like this, a ranking final where you're close to the winning line. He's got no previous when it comes to knowing how to handle this experience. It's brand new to him.
I mean, you could just see him there with his hands over his face. He's in despair at the moment. But yeah, you're right. You know, he's probably never ever felt anything like this before. And I think, you know, whether he wins or loses, it will do him good, because it'll never happen to him again, really. You know.
Character building.
But, you know, once he gets to 8-all, then, you know, the pressure could be off him a bit, and he might, you know, lighten up a little bit. You just don't know.
21.
Thanks, Ronnie. Well, we'll be back with you if this does go all the way. And at the moment, Robertson's looking good to even the score.
22.
It's not been faultless snooker from Robertson by any means, but he just looks that little bit stronger at the moment. And, of course, unlike Cao Yupeng, as we've been saying, he's been in this situation before. He knows what it feels like. He knows how to get over the line in a major final.
Yeah, this is an important shot, because if you can leave an angle on the red, to leave a good angle on the next colour to get to that last awkward red.
$28.
So I was just thinking 3 shots in front there, but hasn't gone as well as what he wanted. He wanted a better angle on this red.
$29.
And that's a nice angle on the pink. Can't see what the angle is like on the black. He's straight on the black, so that's no good. Not without playing a deep screw to the cushion and off again, right back across the table. And that's what it's going to be. This could go wrong. Deep screw, and not enough. So it's a double to take us to a decider. Or does he play the easy snooker? Cue ball in behind the black, red in behind the blue.
Well, he's 18 in front, so if he pots the red and then the black, he'll still need the yellow.
What's it going to be? He's played the shot that I said.
Neil Robertson,
And he's got it.
36.
Turning the screw.
Could have played the double. Had it gone in, he would have won, but he wouldn't have known what was happening to the red had he missed it.
Cao needs to hit this and have some luck.
He's hit it. And he's had some luck.
Yeah, he'll take that.
Didn't play to hit the black, so he gets another chance. Or does he? Has it just gone too far? This is such a tough red to take on. If he takes it on, it's over the pocket. If he misses it, what's he going to do? He's calming himself down. He's looking at the potting angle.
Well, this is
Walking.
tougher than it looks on TV, isn't it, Joe? This is mighty thin.
Well, he doesn't have to take it on, does he?
Nowhere near.
Is he going to get lucky? The answer's no. There's a chance here. It's a difficult pot, but a chance.
Quiet, please.
And it's in. But he's not ideal on the colour. He's on the brown.
19 the lead. Still going to need that yellow.
Difficult yellow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Neil
well,
Robertson won.
the brown has gone safe, and this yellow is not a gimme. But wouldn't blame him if he didn't take it on. That's a good shot.
Thank you.
That's a good shot.
2.
Now he can drop in behind this brown, you know, and it had come down to a brown down the cushion to win a title, his first. He needs to be just below the middle pocket, somewhere there. Would be absolutely brilliant for him. What he doesn't want is that cue ball on the cushion. That looks perfect. He couldn't have picked it up and placed it any better. That's a great shot. Now, can he hold himself together?
Part one of the equation solved. Green to brown perfectly, but now comes the crunch. If this goes right, he should be Scottish Open champion. Big if.
It's there. Good pot.
Well, it's not over yet.
He's the wrong side of the blue. But this looks the ideal angle to run round the 3 cushions for the pink into the left corner, or he could come up and down. Too much side on the cue ball, but if it keeps running, is okay. Needs a little bit more. Can you reach it?
Well, what a climax. What a frame.
You just can't reach it. Stick the extension on. What thoughts he must be going through his head now. Just these 2 balls.
And his heart beating out of his chest.
Keep that foot on the floor. Referee's watching you. Nope.
Has he got the cover? Has he got the cover?
14.
Well, is he going to get an easier chance than that to win a ranking event?
Well, he was on the
Thank you,
stretch.
settle down now.
He couldn't have got any closer, but he's got a consolation prize there, a full ball snooker on the pink.
Neil Robertson would be delighted. He did what he did earlier on there, Philip. He changed on the shot. He was down on the shot and he was moving about on the shot, trying to find the potting angle. And I said that earlier, you can't afford to change your mind down on the shot. You've got to sight it, get down and play it from there.
Well,
this isn't hard to hit.
time will tell whether Cao Yupeng will get a better chance, but he certainly had a slice of luck having missed the pink to snooker Robertson full ball on it. The pink that Robertson needs to take us all the way.
Well, he's got to be in bits at the moment, hasn't he? He needs an easy shot or a very difficult one. He's going to get another chance, and his long potting has been superb. Can he knock one in? Do you know, I think he's got more chance of potting this than the other one.
Well, he needs the black as well, remember. Takes a deep breath. You can hear a pin drop.
Well, he's not going to survive this time, is he? It's just gone past the middle.
He is suffering out there. This is tortuous for Cao Yupeng. So close, twice now. As close as you can be.
A safety shot, and it's a good one.
Well, you feel as though if Cao Yupeng is to win this title, it has to be here and now, because how on earth would he regroup for a decider?
Well, he's been stunning those balls in for length of the table. Looks good.
Sportingly acknowledged by Robertson. Snooker drama at its finest.
Yes, that will do. Easy safety shot, but he's out of trouble, that shot.
Robertson, remember, just needs the pink. Cao needs them both.
Oh, pink behind the black spot. Cue ball over the other side of the table. Looks a favourite. That looks good. It's not hard enough. This is a half chance. This is a half chance.
It's certainly the hardest chance of the three.
Yeah, but he can play this in a way that he could play the snooker behind black in case he misses it. So it does ease the pressure a little. I think he'd be delighted it didn't go in, because he wouldn't have wanted that black. He's getting another chance. Now, he's got tremendous cue power, this young man, and I mean tremendous cue power, and he's going to need it here because I think it's nearly straight. So he's got to play a big screw back, I think. He's got great cue power, seen it earlier. Look at that. He's not going to miss that black. Surely he's not going to miss that black.
Well, it's not ideal. That is very much betwixt and between. It could have been so much more straightforward. What a moment for Cao Yupeng. One ball away once again from the title.
Well, he's going to go to the left corner and he's going to try and leave that cue ball dead on the cushion in case he misses it. And it's there. It's not there.
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yupeng, 6.
Well, that is incredible. How close does he have to get? I thought it was in. Did you think it was in, Philip?
I didn't know what to think. It's all too much, but this relatively easy black for a decider. What incredible drama we've had here this evening in Glasgow, and we've still got one more chapter to come. Cao Yupeng must be in pieces. He must be on the floor. He's been so close so often to claiming the title, but he's not there yet. It's a final frame decider. Welcome back. Well, when they shook hands this afternoon, Neil Robertson was the firm favourite to win this title against Cao Yupeng, who's never been in a ranking final before, the world number 67. And I fancy he is now the firm favourite once more, even though it's a one-frame shootout, because that black has stayed out. It's hung on the lip of the pocket. That's how close Cao was to the Scottish Open title. Is there any way that he can regroup sufficiently to win this decider? If he does, it will be even more impressive than if he won 9-4, because he has been through the ringer and back, Joe.
Well, I just can't see a way back for him. I don't know how he can get over that. You know, it could take months to get over that.
Thank you, ladies
And
and
he's got to
gentlemen.
get over it
The
in a couple of
deciding
minutes.
frame, Neil Robertson to
And
break.
Neil Robertson's going to be feeling on top of the world.
Well, he's dodged a few bullets in the last 10 minutes or so, Neil Robertson. So close to defeat. He couldn't have been closer. Millimetres away from defeat.
Well, that's not a good break-off. Cue ball just going past the baulk line. That's a good pot, though.
1.
I don't know how he's potted that ball. I really don't. Well played. Too much side on the cue ball. Played for the red above the black.
5.
Too much adrenaline, I fancy. Well, this is such a cruel game, isn't it? My goodness me. It's the ultimate test, not only of extraordinary skill, but nerve.
Yeah, and mindset. He needs a kiss.
5.
Rocket Ronnie has been digesting all of this in the last few minutes. I mean, Ronnie, this game never disappoints, does it? The drama it creates is just unparalleled.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to feel for Cao, you know. He's had, I mean, that last frame there with the pink, just to get on the black, his head must be gone, you know, and I don't know, I can't see a way back in it for him now. I just think he's just too far gone.
I mean, I know it was a very different kind of match, but back in 2014, when you played Judd in the final of the UK, you were 9-4 up. He got on a roll. He made big breaks. He took it all the way to a decider. What was your mindset going into that final frame? And if you were in Chao's corner right now, what would you say to him?
I'd just say play the right shot. I mean, even though he potted the red off the break, you know, the yellow was the right shot there, just to stun it in, come up for 2 reds. But he chose to play the brand because he thinks, I can't miss the brand, but you know, I fancy I'm going to pot that, but it wasn't the right shot to get on the next red. So you just have to play the right shot. Whether you're feeling the pressure or not, you just have to commit to playing the right shot. Otherwise, if you don't play the right shot, you got no chance of winning the frame, you know. So it's just, I don't know, it's just got to play the right balls that, you know, that present themselves.
Yeah, very difficult, isn't it? You know, he wants to play the right shot, but like you just said, he knew that the brown was unmissable, and he's played that and had too much side on the cue ball. And if you don't play the right shot, then you may never get another chance.
Well, goodness knows what he's going through at the moment. You've got to feel some sympathy for Cao because he's played so well for so much of this final. But it may ultimately be in vain. Robertson has got to be the firm favourite now with the experience he has of this kind of scenario.
Well, it was a good sign that Cao Yupeng knocked that long red in, because it wasn't easy. And he's got a good safety here. Well, he's left a chance to the middle. Or the corner. Yep, good shot. And the cue ball has come out of baulk. Now he could take the yellow, go into the reds, big target. Or he could play the yellow, come down for the red above the black. Could play the yellow for the red into the right corner, the one to the right of the pink. There's quite a few shots he could play here. He's not hard enough. Or is he? Is he? He might just have got there. He will that cue ball past the red. Easy to get the cover on the black here. Very easy to snooker himself.
Four.
Didn't get the cannon thick enough. Well, I wasn't sure if it was in. Looking at this again, it caught that near knuckle and they normally stay out. There's a red to the right middle, and I think the pink will go to the left corner. What kind of an angle does he have on this red to the middle? There's the red to the right of the pink. That goes to the middle of the three reds there. If he drops it in, it could be on the pink. No. And now Neil Robertson gets his chance with nice bunch of reds open.
One. Yeah.
Neil Robertson's been here many times. He's come from behind many times. And he's won many tournaments. This isn't new to him at all.
It's a chance he would certainly not have expected at the back end of the previous frame when it looked as though Cao Yupeng was going to clinch the title.
Six. Seven.
Now, does the pink spot? If it does, it could be snookered on this red.
Moment, please, Neil. Oh, thanks. Well spotted.
Well, it spots all right, but
13.
luckily for Robertson, it's on the green spot, which was available.
Has the angle to go into the reds. Looks like all the reds are covering one another. He could play the slow cannon to the middle of those three reds, which would leave him on a red to the left middle and one to the right corner. That's the one there. This victory would mean a lot to Neil Robertson. It's quite a while since he won his 12th ranking title, the beginning of last season. He's had a few dodgy spells since then, to the extent that he fell out of the top 16, missed out on the Masters. Certainly, the evidence is very strong that he's something back to his best. It would be a huge disappointment to him, though, were he to lose this final. He couldn't have come any closer to losing it. Can he make the most of the reprieves he's had? Well, that hasn't gone according to plan. He's got a red to the middle, but there's a lot of pressure on that because he's leaving the red behind the black. I think he did play the cannon to that middle red, but missed it. Taking the more difficult red because there is some safety attached to this one. Great pot. Well, he's unfortunate because he may not have been on a colour, but he would have had an easy snooker. Very unfortunate. It was a great pot, this. Very nearly went in, of course. He's going for it. He's got it. Great pot again. Cue ball needs to slow down.
Yeah, that was gutsy, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's trying to win. Could have played a good safety there. He's just off straight. I don't know if the cue ball's going into the cluster. Yeah, great shot again.
23.
And he's come through the reds. But another pressure shot coming up. Another great shot. That's a very positive shot, that, from
30.
Neil Robertson. And he wasn't on a red until this red bounced off the cushion. Left him a chance to the middle.
Could that be the beginning of the end for Cao Yupeng?
$31.
He doesn't look like missing now. If he was going to miss the black and that red to the middle, Cao Yupeng, he's had his chances, many of them. And I wouldn't want to be in his shoes tonight if he should lose. This is the red that he missed to the middle. He was nicely on the pink.
It will be a tough loss for sure. But as Ronnie O'Sullivan said, he will learn a great deal from it. If it is to be defeat tonight, it'll be painful and it'll linger. But ultimately, it might make him stronger. But Robertson still has plenty to do before it's all over.
$47.
And the good thing is he doesn't need that last red on the right side cushion. In fact, that's a little bit of insurance for him if he does miss.
45.
Well, you've got to take your hat off to Neil Robertson. He stuck to his guns. I know he should have been out numerous times, but he's kept his belief.
Being ultra cautious here, he knows that this is the opportunity to take out the title.
Yeah.
He has a great deal of respect for the great Stephen Hendry, who gave him some advice a few seasons back on break building, which he took to heart and then promptly made 103 centuries in one season. So it would be a special moment for him to lift that beautiful Waterford Crystal Trophy
53.
and announce himself once again as one of the best players in the world.
Just overstunned a little bit on the blue. 37 points the lead. Just under hit that one slightly. This is very much like the black that Cao Yupeng missed.
The red puts him 43 in front with 43 left.
59.
So any colour.
Any colour, and he's not on one. Well, I've got a feeling he's going to be snookered next shot. Considering putting the yellow safe.
Neil Robertson, 59.
Neil Robertson's turn to be on the cusp of the title. The best Cao can do right now is tie.
Well, he hasn't got the snooker. And he's left a chance. He was trying to get the cue ball in behind the pink and green and left it short by a long way.
If this red goes in, Cao Yupeng will need 3 snookers. Never in doubt.
One.
Yeah. Not quite the celebration we saw in the second frame, which feels like an awfully long time ago when Robertson levelled after Cao missed a black. That was much more understated, but he knows that was the key ball. And that is insurance. Well, it's been a long time coming. Ranking title number 13. Neil Robertson has struggled, fell out of the elite top 16, but he's been telling us how much work he's been putting in on the practice table.
9.
How he believes that he's taken his game to a whole new level. He's not always been at his best today. In fact, for large sections of this final, he's been outplayed by Cao Yupeng, who had his chances to put him away. My goodness, did he have his chances, and you have to feel for him.
16.
But you also have to give every credit to the Aussie. He never gave up.
18.
He always battled, even when he was 4 down with 5 to play and things seemed pretty hopeless. He kept asking the question, and ultimately he's been rewarded.
Neil Robertson, 18.
Neil Robertson is the Scottish Open champion for 2017. He's back to winning ways in ranking events. He's back where he belongs in the top 16. He's £70,000 richer, and he will shortly be lifting the Stephen Hendry Trophy. He's not quite sure how he's done it. Cao Yupeng isn't quite sure how he's lost it. But it is Robertson who prevails in yet another snookering nail-biter by 9 frames to 8.
Ladies and gents, please show your appreciation for both players on the back of a fantastic final of the Scottish Open. So close, but not close enough. Commiserations. How do you feel?
When I close to win the match, I got a pressure, and I can doing like the first frame well. So it's not good enough. Too much, not good enough. I don't got a strong heart. Maybe need more practice and something. And after the 8-4, Neil played very good, and he put everything and pushed me and let me get a lot of pressure. Yes.
Ronnie O'Sullivan said in commentary earlier on that even if you don't go on to win it, what you'll learn
from the experience in the final will be priceless.
Yeah, the first time I've been the final is a bit precious, and this time is very close to win. Okay. I can do the best, and I can remember today. Yeah. See you next time.
Let's hear it for our runner-up, who played his part in a wonderful final. Cao Yupeng, everyone.
How on earth did you do that?
I have no idea. I mean, Cao was literally millimetres away with that black that rattled and stayed over the hole. And to be honest with you, I feel terrible because up to 8-4, he completely outplayed me. He's probably the best anyone's ever played against me in a final. And he thoroughly deserved to win. Unfortunately, probably just his experience cost him in the end.
You went into the mid-session interval trailing 8-4. Honestly, when you came out, what were your expectations? Was it just to claw a few back and make it a bit more respectable?
Obviously, he hasn't been in this situation before with winning a big title like this, so I guess I could sort of count on maybe a few jittery nerves to try and get over the line, but the only way that's going to happen is if I can apply some pressure. And I just thought, if my hand's on the table, I'm going to go for a red, no matter where it is. And thankfully, I knocked in a few, and maybe it just put him under a little bit of pressure. But it's happened to everyone. Even Stephen Hendry's, missed balls under pressure. So Cao can't be disappointed with how he's performed today. I think for his first final, it was an incredible effort. And yeah, like I say, he was the better player today. He really was.
We saw it in the second frame of the final when you potted the black. You gave it the big fist pump. We knew what it meant to you. How on earth were you feeling in that final frame?
No, I mean, I actually talked to him. I said, "Oh, sorry, mate. Like that was just like I don't know what I was doing." I used to do it all the time when I was younger. When I kind of used to see, whenever I used to play an English player, I always thought it was like Australia versus the Palms and stuff. And so I used to do it, but whenever I've done it, I've always lost the match. So it just makes people try harder. So I was just, as soon as I did it, I didn't try to do it. I wasn't thinking, yeah, I'm going to give it a fist pump, but I just did it. It's like Mark Williams a couple of weeks ago in Ireland. He's given it a fist pump, and then all of a sudden Bing Tao got back into the match, and he's thinking, oh my God, what's everyone thinking? Like, so it's the same thing. He had a chat with me, actually. He said, just don't do it. He goes, you're too classy, too good a player to do it. Just don't do it. I'm like, okay, I won't do it anymore.
Let me ask you as well, what an incredible 2 years it's been, and what a fantastic Christmas you're going to have. Looking back now, you've talked recently about your partner's depression and anxiety that you both managed to get through. What a fantastic end to 2017 it's been for you.
Yeah, fairy tale ending. The fact that she's getting the better of depression and anxiety is good enough for me for Christmas. So I'm so proud of her and just thankful I could repay her tonight.
And just finally, a word about this crowd here. I think I'm right in saying you won your first ever ranking event in Aberdeen. You've won this one tonight. You must quite like playing up north.
Yeah, fourth ranking title in Scotland. Yeah, I don't know. Robertson's surname might have some Scottish blood in me. No, the support's always fantastic. Even last night against John, obviously, everyone really wanted him to win, but the support I got when I played really well was fantastic as well. And you can always count on, such fantastic support up here in Scotland.
Well done. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your new Dapperbet 2017 Scottish Open champion. It's Neil Robertson.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our presentation party, WPBSA Chairman Jason Ferguson and Dapperbet Ambassador Jimmy White. First up, receiving his runner-up medal and a cheque for £30,000. He's had an amazing week. Put your hands together for Cao Yupeng! Cao Yupeng, ladies and gentlemen. And to the winner, with a cheque for £70,000, the magnificent Stephen Hendry Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dafabet Scottish Open champion 2017, the Thunder from Down Under, Neil Robertson!
Ranking title number 13. And that is a very proud moment for Neil Robertson.
Ladies and gentlemen.
To hold aloft the Stephen Hendry Trophy will mean a great deal to him. It ends a barren ranking run, stretching back to Riga at the very start of last season. It's long overdue. But as they say, Joe, form is temporary, class is permanent, and he's shown his class today.
Yeah, absolutely. He never gave in, and he attacked the game, didn't he? Just after coming out from the interval, he had that 1-3-2 break, and he could have gone on from strength to strength there, but he did miss in the next frame, which gave Cao Yupeng a chance. He just couldn't take them tonight, but full marks to Neil Robertson.
And showed his class as well, I thought, in his post-match interview there. Was the first to console Cao Yupeng and admit that he'd been thoroughly outplayed for the vast majority of the match. And actually, on the balance of play, Cao deserved to win. But you don't always get what you deserve. You've got to get over the line.
Absolutely. But didn't he say some nice words? He really did. And I thought that was really nice of him to admit that Cao played better. And obviously he feels for him. But as a snooker player, he's trained to win. And win he did.
He did. And, of course, it's been a tough time away from the snooker as well for Neil and his family. He's talked very candidly about his partner's battle with depression, which we're very happy to report she's winning, and it's going to be a good Christmas in the Robertson household. Well, that is a very pretty picture, isn't it? Neil Robertson with his young son. He is the Scottish Open champion for 2017. He'll be taking that Stephen Hendry Trophy home with him and a cheque for £70,000. He's back in the top 16. He's back in business as we hand back to the studio and Andy Goldstein.